Welcome to Cadwell Park for rounds 5 and 6 of the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. The series is really full, really busy, so much so they've had to split the cars out into 3 races. So this is race 1, classes A and B, which includes the main championship contenders. Now last time out at Snetterton, Matt Parks, car 38, won one of the races. Looks like he could be in contention here again today, but how is he going to beat this man, reigning champion and winner of the other races at Brands Hatch and Snetterton, Steve Daly? What's really interesting is that the top 4 are only covered by half a second. This race could be anyone's. Just over to Andy McEwan to take you through the rest of the grid.
Yeah, thanks very much. And here is how they lined up then. Daly and Hunter on row 1, Matt Parks and Ben Huntley on row 2, with Tom Griffiths and Paul Hinston on the 3rd row. Then it's Liam McGillan, Mark Skeets, Alan Caulfield and Matt Flowers round out the top 10 ahead of Mikey Doble and Keith Towers on row number 6. Row 7 for Andrew Prince and Robert Marshall. Annie Butterworth makes her debut ahead of David Sharp. Then it's Brendan Murphy and Jim Barrett on row 9. Row 10 for Andrew Woodbine and Phil Adcock. And row 11 for Phil Sharp and Sam Carrington-Yates making a return to the series, but starts at the back with a 10-second delay to his start. The lights go out though, and the rest of the field gets underway, and Steve Daly looking to try and increase his championship lead at the head of the field, on board with Alan Caulfield as he dives up the inside of Tom Griffiths, taking onto the grass to complete the manoeuvre. And it's Daly that leads up towards turn number 1 for the first time. More with Towers now. It's the midfield battle here. Towers turning his way up through the top end of the field. That's Mikey Doble, I think, in front of us with the novice cross on his car, but it's Daly that leads the way. Hunter 2nd, 3rd for Parks, and then 4th place looks like it's Paul Hinston as they drop down the Park straight, which is anything but straight, and back up the other side of the hill, on board with Hunter in 2nd place. Now, his big rival thus far this season has been Ian Jones, and they are only 5 points apart in their fight for 2nd place in the championship, but Ian has been drawn in Group C, so he is actually in the other 2 races. Basically the way it works, everyone's been split into 3 groups, groups A, B and C. Each group races twice and they each race each other once, so there are 3 races, so that everyone gets 2 races in over the course of the weekend, or indeed over the course of the day. And everyone races each other at least once. So Ian Jones will go up against Owen Hunter a bit later on, but not in this race. For now, though, Owen is well and truly keeping race leader Steve Daly honest as they make their way in towards the mountain section once more. Matt Parks, the standout performer from Snetterton last time out, where he took that sensational first ever victory, is running in 3rd position. They make their way back over the hill now towards the right-left flip-flop sequence of corners at the Hall Bends. There's Alan Caulfield with Tom Griffiths behind. Then car number 3 is Matt Flowers, turning his way through the Hall Bends. The Demon Tweaks Stein on the back of his car. Top 3 back around to the end of lap number 1. They're absolutely together. On board with Brendan Murphy now a bit further back as we turn our way in towards the final corner. Oh, and sideways in front of us. There's a car. Murphy sideways as well. Oh no! Both into the tyre. What on earth happened there? Brendan Murphy was trying to avoid, I think, Annie Butterworth, who was having a big spin in front. Annie, one of the Scottish drivers who made the trip down this weekend. Annie got sideways and well, I'm not quite sure what happened to Brendan Murphy, but he seemed to just lose it in sympathy. We might see a replay of that in a moment, but for the time being, it's all very bizarre indeed. Hopefully a replay may shed some light on what happened. Leaders up towards Park Corner though, and Owen Hunter is not giving Stephen Daly any breathing room here. The Scotsman is having to really defend hard from Owen, who is 2nd place in the championship. Here's a replay that, well, there goes Butterworth, and there goes Murphy, exit stage left, but what actually led up to that? That was very strange. Hopefully we'll get to see the on-board footage again. Both cars, those rectile barriers doing their job, not really damaging the car. So there goes Butterworth. It just looks as though Murphy lost it on the same bit of maybe damp tarmac as Annie did. It has rained overnight. You can see all the water that comes flying out of the recticel foam barriers there. On board with Marshall, who was running in behind Murphy. And yeah, I don't think that was in sympathy actually. I think they both caught a damp bit of road, and on cold tyres around they went, but Annie was able to go in backwards, whereas Brendan Murphy ended up going in head first. The recticel barriers though designed so as not to do too much damage to the car, so both of them should be able to rejoin as the leading trio make their way down towards that part of the circuit now. And Owen Hunter still right with Stephen Daly as they turn through the hairpin and into Mark Corner. Wave yellows out actually, so maybe they both haven't been able to get going again. There's Murphy's car, so Annie was able to continue, but Brendan not so fortunate. just back along the start-finish line, though, on board with Owen Hunter. We can see the slipstream starting to take effect there as he closes in now on Stephen Daly down the pit straight. Matt Parks is not far back either, though, third. Then it's Paul Hinson fourth, Ben Hunter fifth, Mark Skeets in sixth. They're leading the next group of cars. These three really pulling away at the head of the field. Ooh, with the right-hander there, Owen Hunter all out of shape. Looks to the inside into the second part of Charlie's. And the door is slammed in his face by Stephen Daly, having absolutely none of that. The trouble is that when you go in on a tight line into that second part of Charlie's, it really hurts your speed out of the corner and up the hill. But because these cars are brick-shaped and they put such a big hole in the air, the slipstream does quite a lot of work to save you. And so Owen Hunter actually able to regain momentum fairly well up the next hill. Slithers and slides his way through this long right-handed out Chris curve, back on board with Owen. The number 47 car running in second place in the championship as well. As I said, Matt Park, incidentally, after his win last time out at Snetterton, is joint third with Ian Jones, as Daly really has to defend down into the bottom of the hill there at Mansfield, and Owen goes the wide way in, trying to carry a bit more speed out to the corner, which he does, and he gets himself alongside Steve Daly. It's the wrong side of the road down towards the mountain, though. Is he brave enough to go around the outside of the left-hander to get the inside for the right-hander? Daly locks on the brake on the inside. They're both going to go straight on if they're not too careful. Oh, Hunter's on the grass, rejoins, still side by side with Stephen Daly. Fantastic racing, but he's lost all of his momentum, and Matt Parks is on the inside of him. They almost come together in the Hall bends, and in the end, nothing changes. They're still in the same order. Let's all just pretend that never happened, but that all got very, very close going down into the mountain. Stephen Daly had it all locked up, trying to get the car stopped, and it was clear that he was going to go straight on. He did. He kept it on the track, but Owen Hunter had nowhere to go but the crash, and actually was lucky, to get away with that. Ben Huntley! Oh, Ben Huntley slides out wide and collects the stationary car of Brendan Murphy, and Ben, unfortunately, has broken the rear suspension by doing that and heads into the pit lane. Well, that is why, if you ever question why safety cars get thrown when cars are parked at the side of the road, that is why, because if one car has found its way off the road at a certain part of the circuit, then it's entirely feasible that another one could do the same. And unfortunately, Brendan Murphy's car was just right in the line of fire there for when Ben Huntley had a moment. The race is still going there. They haven't thrown a safety car yet in this one, and so the battle is resumed at the front of the field. Owen Hunter's got his breath back after that sensational last lap or so of racing, and Stephen Daly is really feeling the pressure. I don't think he's quite as quick as Owen Hunter in this race, if I'm perfectly honest. Owen really seems to have the speed, and he's determined to get that first race win of the season. Down the hill they go. Oh, Daly all out of shape again, coming out of the gooseneck. Now can Owen get back alongside of him again out of Mansfield? This is where he did a lap ago. Daly didn't go in quite as defensively that time around though, and so Owen Hunter, who's had 2 second place finishes, that was in both of the races at the start of the season at Brands Hatch. He was not able to visit the podium again though at Snetterton. 2 4th place finishes all that he could get out of that one, so the gap has gone out to 17 points between himself and Stephen Daly. That's before drop scores get taken into account though. They dropped their 2 worst scores at the end of the season. Down in towards the hairpin we go once again, and still Stephen Daly is withstanding the pressure, but for how much longer can he manage it? Owen Hunter and Matt Parks are right with him, and don't count Matt Parks out of this one either. Matt, we know he's racy, and we know he's not afraid to get stuck in. There's Alan Caulfield running midfield still. He heads through Barn Corner, passes the stricken car of Brendan Murphy, which is now been protected by a few of those Recticel Harriers. If only they were there a lap or so earlier, says Ben Huntley. To try and improve upon his best result of the season so far of 8th place, but unfortunately the time had not the way to do that. Back with Owen Hunter, and again he is within striking range, heading up towards Park Corner, so Stephen Daly's going to have to defend the inside line, which he does, so dutifully. Owen Hunter goes to the outside instead, snatches a break, almost gets into the back of the Scottish driver. They're inches apart, millimetres apart really, as they go out of Park Corner. Checking in further back, there goes Mark Skeets and Tom Griffiths chasing Liam McGill down. Tom Griffiths is one of the more distinctively liveried cars on the grid, chasing down another one of the more distinctively liveried cars on the grid for different reasons. The plain yellow of Skeetsy, the Irish driver in the championship, and Liam McGill there runs a little bit wide coming out of the gooseneck. Cars really skate around quite a lot. They don't have all that much grip, and so on a narrow circuit like this, which still requires full commitment, it's understandable that on a few occasions they are just tending to run out of road ever so slightly. Here we go over the mountain into Hall bends, and McGill able to pull away from this pair as they continue their dice behind. There is the number 4 Stuart Mark Skeets, who's had some flashes of brilliance over the years, but this season not really been going his way. He's not in the top 10 in points. Here's Mark, he's only made occasional appearances inside the top 10 in the races. Out of the final turn they go across the start-finish line. 15 minutes the duration of the races in the Nankang Tyre BMW Compact Cup. This is the race for Groups A and B. The next race will be for Groups B and C. So some of these cars will be back out there in Group B, the likes of Owen Hunter, Ben Huntley, Hinson, Skeets. They will all be out there in the next race. Essentially the cars that started in the even grid positions for this race, they will be out next time, but they'll start in the odd number position. So Owen Hunter will actually be on pole position. Steve Daly will sit that one out. And the way it works points-wise is that you score a certain amount of points for winning your race, but because each driver is still only racing twice, there are no more points on offer. I know there are 3 races, but everyone only races twice. Tyres, I don't know what happened to him there. He got very close to the car in front going up the Park straight, and then all of a sudden seemed to lose speed, loses a position as a result as well. And I think that might be Sam Carrington-Yates that's gone through on his return to the series. Great to see Sam back, former race winner. Keith Towers, another driver who 7th in the points. He's had a decent start to the year. Brands Hatch in particular went well, Snetterton not quite as well. And it was Sam Carrington-Yates in the number 17 car there, who's now having a big look up the inside down into the left-hander at Mansfield. Quite find a way past, I think that's Andrew Prince in the number 29 car, yes it is, the Scottish driver. Of course, this being the most northerly round of the championship, it's perfect for the Scottish drivers to come down and give us a visit. Big moment there though for Prince, and that will surely give Carrington-Yates a run coming out of the mountain, which it does, and alongside he goes, and through he goes in towards the Hall bend. So another place gain for Sam Carrington-Yates, running in an unliveried number 17 car. Hopefully this is signalling that he might be about to make a full-time return to the series. That would be nice to see. Robert Marshall now as he chases down David Sharp, excuse me, car number 40, as the Sun making a bit of an effort to break through there, it would seem, as they went down towards the right-hander at Barn. Across the line goes Carrington-Yates. Keith Towers there now trying to find a way past Andrew Prince, and Keith, for whatever reason, hadn't had a pace this weekend that we'd have expected. Qualified 12th, but arguably should have been quite a bit better than that. Back out of Charlie's onto the Park straight again, and Keith Towers will be trying to draw alongside if he can at the top of the hill. There's the number 3 car of Matt Flowers with Mikey Doble Jr., car number 88, breathing down his neck. Mikey, another driver, running with the novice cross on the back of his car, a relative newcomer to racing therefore. Sam Carrington-Yates is just a little bit further up the road than that pair. Keith Towers has now found a way past Andrew Prince, 2 places lost this lap for Prince. Here's Robert Marshall, still chasing down David Sharp. As we go through Mansfield, back into the left-hander. We've got yellow flags out. Why do we have yellow flags out? There's a slowish car in the distance, which I believe has just rejoined from a grassy moment. Who that is, I'm not sure. It's one of the white cars, I think, running in that next group. Possibly Carrington-Yates, possibly the 29 of Andrew Prince, and that's Liam McGill getting all out of shape through Barn. Gathers it together, luckily, but that will lose him momentum onto the pit straight. Halfway around the lap, and these are the leaders, and they're still tied together by the shortest piece of string imaginable. Nothing to choose between Owen Hunter and Stephen Daly. There might be a gap on the inside there for Hunter. Yes, there is. Owen Hunter goes for the race lead down towards the gooseneck, and he might have made it stick this time. Has he? Can he turn in? Yes, into the race lead goes Owen Hunter, looking for his first win of the season. And finally, after about 14 minutes or so of trying, he's prized the door open and got the lead away from Stephen Daly. Now, can he hang on? That's the big question, because Stephen will try and come back at him if at all possible, because there's a championship on the line between these two. Big lock up for Hunter. Oh, contact in fact, look at that. Daly gets into the back of Owen Hunter, and it's damaged the front of Daly's car, but I'm worried that it's dislodged the exhaust on Owen Hunter's car. Let's have a look as they come. Yes, look at that. The exhaust is dragging on the ground for Owen Hunter's car in the lead of the race, but, well, he won't be worried too much about that at the moment. As long as it doesn't fall off altogether, he will continue to go. But is that going to affect the performance performance of the car. We've still got one more lap to go, I believe, after this one, and Stephen Daly could very well come back at him if at all possible. Onto the pit straight. This is the first chance we'll get to see whether that's affected the straight line performance of Owen Hunter's car. Across the line they go, waves and cheers of encouragement from the pit wall as we start the final lap of what has been a sensational 5th round of the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup for 2018. And can Owen Hunter do it? Can he bring a battle-scarred car home onto the top step of the podium? Of course, Stephen Daly's car doesn't look particularly pretty at the moment, but that bodywork damage at the front of the car won't have the potential to affect his performance that a damaged exhaust will have on Owen Hunter. Daly getting the inside down towards Park. No, he can't, and so it is going to be difficult for him to find a way throughout the rest of the lap, although Owen Hunter managed to do it through Chris Curve last time out. Here's Robert Marshall trying to duck and dive and gain one more position as he makes his way up towards the first corner of Compass. There's no sign of David Sharp anymore, so I suspect that David has fallen behind us. But these are the leading two down into Mansfield, and Owen Hunter just needs to keep it on the island, bring it home for a first race victory, and a really important one as far as the championship is concerned as well, because he, as I said, arrived here second in the points. Another big lock up there for Stephen Daly, but I don't think he's going to be able to make a move stick now through this last sequence of corners. If Owen Hunter can win this race, he will take 3 points out of Stephen Daly, although Stephen's set the fastest lap, which is worth 1 point, so he'll take 2 points out of Daly if he can hang on, and he's only got one more corner to go to try and hang on to the race lead, which I think he might be able to do. Out of the final turn we come, the run towards the checkered flag, and Owen Hunter, after a sensational race-long duel with Stephen Daly, wins for the first time in 2018. Daly comes home second, and Owen Hunter is very happy with that one. Third place will go the way of Matt Parks, and this is some of the battling going on further back. Mikey Doble there doing battle with several of the drivers coming towards the line, but Hunter wins it from Daly second, Parks third, Liam McGill fourth, and Paul Hinton fifth. Tom Griffiths is sixth, then Mark Skeets, Alan Caulfield, Mikey Doble, and Sam Carrington Yates, who gained 13 places to 10th. Then it's Matt Flowers, Keith Towers, Andrew Prince, Robert Marshall and David Sharp, then Jim Barrett, Phil Adcock, Andrew Woodbine, Phil Sharp and Andy Butterworth rounding out the finishes. Ben Huntley was a retirement after colliding with the stationary car of the already retired Brendan Murphy.
Owen, long time since we've seen you on the top step of the podium. Congratulations on your win, tough race.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a long time since 2015, since my last win. So yeah, it's a long time coming, but I think we deserved it. I'd just like to thank XDR Motors, Raw Motorsport and Trade Price Cars for all their help getting me here and giving me the car that I needed to win.
Steve, tough race, but congratulations on second place.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very tough race. Owen pushed me from the start, but to be honest, I was looking in my mirror and I knew that he was going to be very tough to hold off for the whole race. So, I mean, we just had to take every lap as it came, and Owen's opportunity came up at some point, and he managed to just nip the win. So, I mean, chuffed to bits for Owen to be back up here. It's been a long time coming for him, and I'm glad he's done it now.
Man, it's a bit of a warm one today, isn't it?
Temperature in that car is through the roof. It's incredible. Under here I'm sweating so bad, but it's really humid here as well. It has been all weekend, so we know it's going to be a difficult weekend in the car, especially for 15-20 minutes, but just got to slug it out.